Phil Kennard from Futurestay. Phil, take the stage.
In the year 2020, there'll be more online bookable vacation rentals than hotel rooms. And not just on Airbnb and HomeAway. Every major OTA now lists homes in between the Hyatt and the Hilton. Why? Because we want to book them. But there's a catch. We want to book our vacation rentals just like we book our hotels, instantly and online, with no manual interactions and no friction. You see, yesterday's manual vacation rental industry, with click to request a booking forms and email inquiry boxes, is over. We're merging into tomorrow's on-demand travel economy. But we can't get there with yesterday's tools. This is the typical vacation rental software stack. Each booking is a bad game of API telephone between 4 systems, none of which are independently responsible for making sure that booking is instant or accurate. Now, if you're a hotel and you have a reservation desk and a connectivity team, you can probably smooth that out. But for most vacation rentals, this just becomes a massive source of friction in your business and for your traveler. And that's why it takes vacation rentals up to 4 weeks to list onto an OTA, and why they're still logging into multiple systems to process an instant booking. It's because yesterday's manual stack was built for yesterday's manual bookings, and it's incompatible with today's on-demand travel economy. And that's why we built Futurestay. Futurestay is the smartest way for vacation rentals to connect to everything that matters, to channels like Airbnb, HomeAway, and Booking.com, to guest communications and payments, and to their own website and brand. And here's how it works. Property managers import their properties and rules into the Futurestay dashboard. They turn on their smart connections to our partner channels like Airbnb, HomeAway, Booking.com, and more, and enable their website or booking engine. These typically go live in the same business day. And then Futurestay automates their bookings, interactions, guest payments, and communications across the industry-spanning grid that we've built working with our partners at Booking, HomeAway, Airbnb, and more. This end-to-end automation is so powerful that we're not talking about just syncing rates and availability. We're following up on failed credit card payments, collecting balance payments, issuing refunds, and even auditing OTA channel commissions. Our automation is so advanced that we don't give managers a to-do list. We give them a done list. And this all-in-one automation costs only a 5% markup, which is a significant cost savings compared to the 13% of gross bookings that property managers typically spend on all of their software needs. And here's how the market's reacted. Since launching Futurestay globally in 2015, over 120,000 properties have gotten their free Futurestay dashboards. We're growing at over 3,000 properties per month. This year, we're on track to automate over $115 million of vacation rental bookings. By next year, it'll be $250 million. Now, we're not monetizing on all those bookings yet today, but we're capturing a greater and greater share over time. And this is why it's the right time for Futurestay. You see, over the past decade, the vacation rental industry has doubled in size, but the average property manager keeps getting smaller. It's not that they're losing properties. It's that new micromanagers are entering the industry as entrepreneurs and taking advantage of all the demand that exists from channels like Airbnb, Booking.com, and the travelers like us that want to stay in their properties. And that's why Futurestay is growing so rapidly. You see, the next 10 million vacation rentals won't sign up for yesterday's model of vacation rental software. They won't purchase 4 enterprise systems. They won't sign up for demos or pay implementation fees. They'll use Futurestay. Because Futurestay doesn't just reduce friction for travelers that want to book vacation rental properties, We reduce friction for managers, too. So we knew we were onto something big with Futurestay when we saw the traction that we were experiencing. And this is exactly how big. With 13% of gross bookings spent on software, it creates a $26 billion vacation rental automation market by 2021. It's a massive market, and we believe we can claim 10% of it based on our team and our ability to execute and our traction. And here's why we're the team to do it. My partner John and I have solved technology and automation problems for Fortune 500 companies for years together before founding Futurestay. And we're backed by the founders of some of the companies that have made travel technology what it is today, like Priceline, Kayak, and Phocuswright. We created Futurestay for the on-demand travel economy, where properties can decide to list in the morning and be connected to global demand that night. There are millions of properties out there waiting to be connected to millions of travelers. Let's not keep them waiting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Phil. Take a seat on the stool.
Judges.
Judges.
Thanks, Phil. Could you tell us a bit more? So you said you have 120,000 properties on the platform today.
Yes.
What's the customer acquisition model? That's a lot of customers. How are you bringing them on board?
Sure. So let me be 100% clear about this, Richard. So we're not a freemium platform in the same way that Amazon is not a freemium platform. Property managers connect to Futurestay so that they can connect their property to global demand. So we have a lot of inbound directly via SEO. We have very significant channel partnerships. Not all of the properties that are on Futurestay are being monetized today. Otherwise, we would be in launch and not in summit, right? But so we're monetizing on a significantly greater share over time, and we get better at connecting supply to demand and monetizing on that every day. Channel partnerships include website builders, other service providers in our industry. Basically, any service that a property manager would use to grow their business, Futurestay can be integrated with. So we become the default solution to connect those properties to that system if they don't have an existing solution.
And ballpark percentage that are being monetized today of 120,000?
So I would say over the past 6 months, we're now monetizing about 15% of the new ones that are coming in. Prior to that, we were simply building out the kind of footprint because our goal is to be the default way to connect vacation rental supply and demand. So when you go back in the past, it's a much smaller percentage.
And just to follow up on that, what's your go-to-market? I mean, thinking about if the average property manager has 75 properties, you're kind of going out there and trying to basically sell into little kind of pseudo hotels with 75 rooms. That's pretty expensive. A lot of people in this room have had to go and do that kind of sales thing. You're building up offices and everything. Just tell us about that a little bit.
Sure. So the average property manager used to have 75 properties in kind of the beginning of the decade. Now they're down to about 20.
That actually makes it harder.
So it's actually very easy for us because it's almost all inbound at this point in time. As we were just talking about, they're signing up for tools that they need in order to grow their business, such as a website. And then as they go to their website builder, Futurestay might be the default plugin for a booking engine. As they go to their smart lock provider, Futurestay might be the default system to connect to power that business. So we have no marketing spend. We have one part-time outbound salesperson, and that's what the numbers look like.
If there's a single winner in the vacation rental space, so if Airbnb dominates or HomeAway dominates, do property owners actually need this functionality, or will it just be provided by the big distributors?
Sure. So I think it depends on who the provider is, right? If it's Airbnb provides really significant end-to-end solutions. If it's anyone else, I think they're in the business of selling reservations and not enabling balance payment collection and OTA commission auditing and smart lock integrations and all the kind of last mile services that are actually required. So I think there will always be, and realistically, I mean, we've been in travel all for a long time here. You never get one winner, especially when it comes to consumer demand.
Who's paying the 5%?
So it's a markup. So if your property you're currently listing at, let's say, at $100 a night, we mark it up to $105 a night and push it out across the grid, including your own website.
So the customer's paying the 5%?
So yes, the customer's paying 5%.
Right, okay. Do you think that's sustainable? Because I can't think of a lot of channel management businesses that get that kind of margin. Oh, well, we're done.
It's a significant savings compared to the 13% gross spend that you would normally see for software. So
Thank you very much, Phil.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
well
guys.
done.